Another day at SC.
All right, fire away.
We're more than halfway through now. Who's helped yourself the most this spring?
Ooh, man, those questions are tough because I mean, it's tough to single out guys. You know, I mean, like I really think. I think we've got a handful of freshmen that I think are positioning themselves to be able to help us, which has been good. You know me, I don't love to anoint them until they, do it on the field on Saturdays in the fall, but there's some guys that certainly have that look. It's just progressing as a whole. I mean, I don't think any position group you look at and you're like, we haven't made progress on. I think we're making it all. Obviously, with the learning curve defensively, you probably see more of the jumps right now from our defensive players just because they're learning it from like day one to now. It's looking just sharper each day. Everything is tightened up, less mistakes. Because it's not, again, I know we said this, it's not just scheme. It's a lot for a lot of these. It's a technique and fundamental, like teaching things a different way. And so, yeah, the improvement there and the buy-in there where guys can like take it from a drill, which now they're getting to where they can do those pretty well, and like into these competitive situations. That's like what we've really challenged them on here at the midpoint of spring, and we're starting to see that happen more and more.
Lincoln, so with Mike has its annual event this weekend, Can you kind of explain how this organization has impacted the program?
Yeah, it's been obviously really important to this program. I mean, you look at Jake Olson, and obviously the legacy that he left as a player here. He's been a great ambassador for our program. More recently, Alex Ruiz was our lead manager, was kind of right there with me for the first couple of years. And you talk a couple of guys that probably wouldn't have had a chance to come to this program without that organization. And now this program is better for that. So incredibly appreciative for what it's done. We always want to support it, but it's a tremendous cause, and USC is better because of it.
Coach, do you have an update on the quarterback competition right now?
It's going well. Guys are all back and forth. All three of them have had some really strong days. We've been able to get a lot of reps, which has been great for all three of them. They're all at different points within the offense. I mean, of course, Miller with the amount of reps and all that he's had is certainly from a knowledge standpoint is out in front. Jake Jensen, I think, continues to build off of a strong bowl prep when he, got a chance to be the backup and get a lot of reps, and he's done some really nice things. And then Jaden's certainly handled it really well, considering how quick it's been for him. And we're not really handling him with training wheels right now. Like it's get out and go. And he's a competitor and he's a talented kid. So they've all three shown the ability to move us, to execute the offense, to make the plays that we need from that position to win. So been pleased with the group so far.
Lincoln, what was the genesis of your interest in Woody Marks at first? And that bringing in a transfer running back has worked out pretty well for you since you've been here. What is it about that position that kind of lends itself to more of a plug-and-play approach, bringing a guy in?
Yeah, well, I mean, to that, we've been able to bring in three guys, that all had four guys now, counting Woody, that have had, some extensive playing time at the previous spots. We've been able to feel like we got a good evaluation on those guys. And all three of the guys that we took, we certainly wouldn't have taken it back. So I think we've landed on the first three, and I feel certain that we have with Woody too. Woody was interesting. When you looked at the running back kind of crop in the portal, and we knew we felt like we needed to add an old guy. We love the young talent, but you kind of wanted one more. We thought when you turned the tape on that he was the best one. We just did. We thought he was incredibly productive. He caught the ball well. He was a really physical, tough runner, which we wanted to get a little bit bigger and a little bit more physical in the backfield. And Woody showed that on tape. The other thing, his career, you look at his numbers, it doesn't quite tell the whole story because he's battled a lot of injuries. He hasn't been able to stay healthy, and you kind of look at it as like, man, if this guy can improve and can stay healthy, like what can he really be? And so we were excited. We targeted him right away once he got in the portal, and he was the top guy from beginning to end.
Malachi Crawford is a talented guy we didn't see a lot of last year. What have you seen from him this spring?
It's good to have him back healthy. I know it's been frustrating for him. We've talked about this at times where the young guy comes in and he's injured right in the beginning. like the transition's hard enough, like by itself. When you add that in, it's really tough. But he's done a good job with our training staff, done a good job with the strength staff. He's gotten back healthy. He's learning. He was learning a system and a way to do things before ever really getting on the field here. And now he's like having to flip and learn something different. So there's definitely some freshman moments, but there's some moments where you see his length and his ability to run that really show up.
Have you seen Deuce kind of handle the balance of baseball and football when he has such a big opportunity with football?
Yeah, it's settled a little bit. I think predictably at times this spring it's been a lot for him. I feel like that we've gotten in a little bit of a rhythm. He's gotten in a little bit of a rhythm. Baseball's gotten a bit of a rhythm of kind of all coexisting and working together. And I think he's handled it well. And I think he's kind of starting to settle into a good routine right now because then, I mean, you start talking about like the recovery. You start talking about like when do I sleep, when do I eat, when do I do my schoolwork, when do I do baseball, when do I do football, when do I lift? I mean, there's a lot to it. So I think considering kind of his first go around, so far so good, and he's done a nice job on the practice field here for us, and by all accounts he's doing a nice job for Andy and the guys over there.
What are you hoping to see from him generally progress-wise heading into summer?
Yeah, more consistent, and then I think he's got some great physical skills. We've worked hard to develop him there, but continue to make some more of the big plays that he's really capable of. And he obviously showed flashes of that as a freshman, but now it's time for it to be less flashes and more consistent every single day. So we've challenged him to push his ceiling, to play at a higher level more consistently, because he can be a dominant guy. So yeah, he's just got to continue to grow and improve, and balancing this schedule is going to be a big part of that. All right, thanks everybody.